When I started Ink Master, I had 2 small tattoos.
Yeah.
I had 2 very small tattoos. One on my ankle and one small one on my wrist.
Right.
That you have since covered.
Yes. Hi everybody, and welcome back to No More Ink, the official after show for Ink Master that also gives fans of tattooing more of what they crave. I'm your host, Ryan Ashley, and joining me today is the wizard behind the curtain of Ink Master, executive producer, Andrea Richter. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so happy to have you here on this side of the camera.
I'm excited to be here and with you, of course.
Yes. We have so much to talk about. Something that I've always loved so much about you and about the production team and about the whole crew is how seriously you take your job and how seriously everyone holds this competition in such high regard, with so much respect. And I wanted you to come on because so many fans always have so many questions for me about how things work behind the scenes. And do the tattooers really have a 6-hour time limit? Is it really timed? And all of those questions. And the response I always have is like, you guys have no idea how serious production is about having a clean, fair game. What you see is what you get. The timing is real, the rules are real.
The tattoo artists come and they put their livelihoods in our hands. And so they're our heroes. Without them, we wouldn't have a competition. They come and participate and they trust us. And we try to live up to that trust and try to really make something that's entertaining, but make something that's also real.
Tell me what you guys are looking for when you're choosing competitors for each season.
We're looking for energy. We're looking for personality. We're looking for people who are willing to share their story. In order to watch, right, for viewers to watch, we need them to be engaged and have a personal stake and a personal connection with the artists, right? So we're really looking for artists who are able to relay that, to tell us so that we understand where their story is and where they've come from and what makes them interesting and who can relate to them. And we're really trying to, each season, represent and tell everybody's story as openly and cleanly as possible. To me, that's the important thing about reality television, right? Is to be able to give everyone at home watching something to connect to.
I think it's not just that too. I think because Ink Master has broken so much ground and it's really led the way for tattoo television, I think what it's done is it's represented so many different types of tattooers that it's made people interested in the tattoo world that would probably be too intimidated to walk into a tattoo shop.
When I started Ink Master, I had 2 small tattoos.
Yeah.
I had 2 very small tattoos. One on my ankle and one small one on my wrist.
Right.
That you have since covered.
Yes.
And now I have full sleeves, which that wouldn't have happened 14 years ago. People didn't look at tattoos the same way as I think that they do now. And hopefully Ink Master had a small part to do with that.
I mean, I don't think Ink Master had a small part to do personally. I think Ink Master was a huge trailblazer for the idea of opening your eyes to this industry and
It's art.
It's art. It's fine art. And I think we still as tattooers have a long way to go until tattooing is considered not this, you know, lowbrow underground type of body modification. Like, we are fine artists.
Yes.
And some of the best art that I think is happening in our generation in real time is happening on human skin right now.
Yep.
So let's talk a little bit about your tattoo journey on yourself. I know you're pretty sleeved up now at this point.
Working on it. Yeah.
Working on it. It's a work in progress.
Work in progress always, right?
It was years ago I tattooed you. And then I know you've gotten tattooed by
Bubba.
Bubba's adorable. And you've gotten tattooed by DJ as well.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Are we the 3 from the Ink Master world?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
From the world?
Yes.
All right.
That's it.
All right. Where does the journey end for you? Are you going to keep going?
Absolutely.
Well, yeah.
You can't stop. Once you start getting tattooed, you want more and more tattoos. And it's important to me too, the people who I've had tattoo me, such as yourself and Bubba and DJ, like I get so close to the Ink Master family and the Ink Master artists that it's an honor.
Yeah.
It's an honor to be able to be tattooed by you guys. You guys are amazing.
Well, before we get into what went down on the show, we're first going to revisit a prior season for our segment, Ink Remastered, which gives a former contestant the opportunity to redo the tattoo that sent them home. This week we have the very talented Charlene No from season 15. Let's take a look.
Going darker in like the rib cage and in the sockets of the eyes and really boosting that contrast would have really helped bring this together.
already so much better.
Charlene was such a jack of all trades. Like, she could do everything. She wanted to do everything and show you all the time.
Man, and she was so positive and so humble and so sweet. I can tell I already like this tattoo better than the other, though. The perspective and the positioning and everything.
It was one of those situations in the control room where we're literally underneath the table, just hating watching her struggle, and yeah. Everyone thought she was going to make it to the end.
So did we.
Yeah, I know.
Trust me, so did we. We were really rooting for her. Come on.
That's
look
amazing.
At it.
It's got a little horse.
She did a whole
That's
landscape
amazing.
scene in the back. Honestly, I didn't hate the original either, though.
Right.
It just looked a little unfinished and disconnected.
Right. She got tied to the details. A lot of times artists overthink because they're in such a tight world and they're so focused on what they're supposed to be doing to impress the judges, and instead of really just focusing on that great tattoo, she hyper-focused on the details, I think.
Do you think artists go into these competitions too worried about what we're gonna think about them? Yeah.
All the time, yes.
And they stop trusting themselves
For
and what
sure.
they know. Yeah.
For sure.
I think this attempt is awesome. I think she did a great job. All right, well now it's time to get into the ink. Here's your official spoiler alert. Joel announces that this is our final Flash challenge of the entire season, and it's a hard one. A true test of adaptability.
Today, you must create not one, but 2 different works of art on a single pane of glass.
From the last 14 years, is there a Flash challenge that you guys brought on that in the middle of it you were like, oh my God, is this too crazy? What was the wildest thing you've thrown at artists?
There are ones definitely where it's been happening. The artists have been doing it, and we're like, is this gonna work? Gunpowder is always, it's one of the favorites.
Tricky, yeah.
Season 4 was the first time we did a gunpowder Flash challenge. And as they're doing it and they're spreading gunpowder on this canvas, you have no idea whether it's gonna work or not. And that was the one where you really couldn't tell until the end.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna blow it up,
yeah.
and then they're gonna pull up those canvases, and either there's something cool on the canvases or it's just a charred mess. I would say that's probably the most risky one, or the one that we did that definitely we were sitting backstage going, oh my gosh, is this gonna work? Or are we gonna be in trouble? Is this, what are we gonna do if there's nothing?
Totally.
So the reveals are pretty awesome.
Young Guns, you're up.
That thing is gnarly. Scary berry.
The judges have decided the winner of the Flash Challenge is the Young Guns.
Thank you.
Well, the Young Guns win the Flash Challenge, which means they have the power to assign all of the skulls the elimination tattoo. Based on the conversations happening amongst the contestants, the father-son OGs, James and Anthony, are the targets this week. So this whole dynamic father-son duo with James and Anthony, this is the first father-son duo in the history of Ink Master, right?
Correct.
It's actually quite insane how close we are.
Got a few battles ahead of us, I think.
Wonder what everyone's thinking about us.
They're probably thinking that we're like teamed up, but I've never coddled you my whole life, you know that. You coming up and tattooing, I didn't treat you any different than anyone else who worked for me. I treat you like an equal, and it's the same in this competition.
How did you guys find them? Were you guys freaking out when you realized that this father and son were equally as talented?
Absolutely. We've done previous seasons where there's been past relationships that have come in. We've had husband and wife, we've had in DJ's season 9, we had Shop Wars where they worked together. And artists that come in with some sort of background already always makes it a little bit more interesting, right? Because there's that past history, there's that past. Coming into this season, knowing that they were coming in as father and son into a season of OGs and Young Guns, it was meant to be. And that's how casting kind of works, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes artists will apply for multiple seasons and we'll talk to them multiple seasons in a row and it's just not their season. And I do believe that, you know, reality is better than fiction and the right people get on the season at the right times for them.
Yeah.
And this season with Anthony and James, it was amazing. Amazing to see not only father-son, but to see a father who had taught his son. Like that, I feel like is even more unusual in the industry.
Yeah.
And it's something that's probably going to start happening more and more as tattooing becomes more popular and much more accessible. I feel like more people are becoming you know, striving to be tattoo artists and and it makes sense. It runs in the genes.
Yeah.
But yeah, when we saw that, it was like, this is gonna be amazing. It's an amazing story out of the gate.
Yeah, and I think it's important too to recognize that, you know, it's not like, you know, Anthony is like a fresh tattooer coming in without the skill set required for him to stand next to his father. I mean, they are strong competitors alongside one another and have been really showing each other kind of how it's done.
Right.
Well, we're gonna dive deeper into Ink Master, but first, a game. Not only are you on this side of the camera now, we're gonna put you to work and test those art skills. So you're gonna get a tattoo-themed word, and you're gonna have an unlimited amount of time to draw it out, and I'm gonna see if I can guess what it is.
All right.
Sound good?
Let's do it.
All right. All right, are you ready?
No. I produce games, I don't play them.
Oh, I love this, I love this. And your time starts now. It's a doorway. It's an ink bottle. Is it ink bottle? You're amazing.
You got the word.
Tattooing?
Ink.
Ink. Yeah. See, that's amazing.
And I was going to change colors. I was going to show you. Yeah, okay.
No. It's perfect. Perfect. All right, my turn.
All right.
Okay, ready?
I think so. Skull table?
That's exactly what it is. But I'm just.
I was going to say judge's desk for a second. And
it's
then
exactly what it is. But I'm just setting up the. I'm setting something up for you to guess better.
Canvases.
Ah! I was gonna go like this with a big red arrow.
Well done.
It looks just like that.
It does.
I feel like I'm there. Next up is tattoo review. This week was the ever-controversial face tattoo.
Today, you must create a tattoo on a very prominent part of the body.
What's it gonna be?
The face.
Well, before we get into the art that happened this week, let's talk about these canvases. Everybody always wants to know, where do you find these people who want such out-of-the-box things, such interesting requests? Where do they come from?
Well, I think that shows you how far along the tattoo community has come since we started Ink Master. At the beginning, it was more difficult to find canvases who would come in and be willing to get whatever their artist was going to do permanently tattooed on their skin. As the seasons continued on, we now, thankfully, have canvases who apply over and over and over all the time to try and come on the show and get a tattoo because they know Ink Master has very talented artists. And we have an entire team dedicated to finding canvases and finding the perfect matches for which episodes. You know, sometimes when we do face-off tattoos and the artists get to do whatever they want, then you're looking for a canvas who has been able to sit, who will hopefully not have any issues with pain. And you're looking for them to just be totally open to who knows what they could get that, which really that one is rolling the dice. For the rest of them, it's asking people what they want, you know? And if you would like to come in and get a free 6-hour tattoo, most people are, sign me up.
All right, so now let's take a look at this week's art.
Sounds good.
So first up is Stephanie, who won Tattoo of the Day. This is hands down my favorite tattoo you've done. This is rad.
Thank you.
Was it your favorite of the day, or did you prefer?
So this is like asking me which child is my favorite.
Got it.
Right? As a producer, they're all, especially at this stage, we're the 8th week in, we have amazing artists, it's the final 6. They're all amazing, right?
Yeah.
Stephanie's, I was really excited to see Stephanie take the win.
Yeah.
Finally. I feel like she's been in the running, she's been strong. So I think that was an exciting moment for her and for the competition.
I think she finally got to shine in this one. Like there's a lot of moments that she shined throughout the competition, but this one, for me at least, was a complete start to finish. This is who she is, this is what she's capable of, and she just crushed. This is Anthony's Black and Gray Wolf. What were your thoughts on this one?
Amazing fit. It's pretty cool to see the way the Tex boys put tattoos in the skin and the composition and how it really fits the body. I don't know that necessarily all tattoo artists do that as well as they do. So I think that's one of the ways you really identify either an Anthony or James tattoo is being able to see how it fits the body. So I think that's super cool.
Okay, so this next one was Kat's tattoo.
It's beautiful. That
Yeah.
butterfly is amazing.
It's insane. It's crazy. It's like a hyper-realism butterfly. So the biggest problem I had was the big negative space V to the left of the butterfly, how it looked like that branch on the left was falling off.
Right.
But if the hair is growing in that spot, sucks, the butterfly would be covered because that's the
Right.
best part.
Right.
But it might be a cool shape on that hairline. It's hard to imagine it. I guess it depends on her hair pattern.
The difficult part, right?
Yeah. This was James's Reaper. I love this one.
It's amazing.
I love this tattoo.
It's very simple. But I mean, I think that's one of the things that he really preaches is simple tattoos make great tattoos because they're gonna last. That's what I see when I look at it. It's really simple, but pretty amazing.
He also has the confidence to leave those giant areas of negative space. I don't think all artists are comfortable leaving that much.
Super cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is ponies. This one was controversial a little bit for us judges on set because we obviously love it so much, but it's hard sometimes with American traditional because it's so simple. Putting it up next against some of these other ones, just aesthetically, it doesn't have the bells and whistles, right?
Right.
It's not as instantly pleasing. What do you think?
Bold will hold.
Bold will hold.
It's pretty badass.
I mean, I think it's gonna look exactly like that 40 years from now.
Right.
It's not gonna change at all.
What I want to know is Pony said that he liked it so much he might almost want it on his face. So I want to know if Pony's about to go with an American traditional on his face.
He just gets a matching tattoo with this canvas. This was Jade's feather mandala, which ended up sending her home, obviously. I really don't like the feathers. The way that that bottom feather ends cuts off her jawline about an inch too high.
They look like a forced afterthought. That's what they feel like.
I thought this was the most difficult ask of all of those canvases.
Why?
Why? Because forming something perfectly circular around a part of the body that's not perfectly circular, that ear space, it appears like it would be a perfect circle, but it's not. And the fit of it is really difficult, first and foremost. Secondly, getting clean, perfect lines on that part of the body is extremely difficult. And thirdly, because you give yourself no room for creativity. A mandala is exact geometric shapes that have to be perfect. And the second you try to make it creative, it looks disjointed.
Right.
Which is exactly what happened, I think.
Right.
You know?
If it was just the back part.
Oh, it would be a different tattoo. So Andrea, you mentioned not being able to choose a favorite because they're all your kids at this point, right? How could you
Yes.
possibly choose a favorite?
Yes.
So how do eliminations go for you then? Are they difficult to see some of your kids go home?
Absolutely. Just as you get to know the artists and the viewers get to know the artists, we get to know the artists and we start rooting for them. And so it becomes absolutely heartbreaking to watch every week an artist have to leave.
Yeah.
The judges have decided, Jade, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master.
When I get out of here, I want to learn more about illustration, painting, and everything.
Use it as fuel for your fire, and you're gonna burn so bright.
Please pack your machines and close shop.
They're amazing artists. So yes, if we could keep everybody there and keep them tattooing all season long, we would 100% do that. It's part of the game.
Yeah.
It's how it works. We all want them to succeed. We want all of them to put their best foot forward, to be in the competition as long as they can,
Yeah.
and to really strive for the best, and they do, and they never let us down.
Yeah.
And so I think knowing how much everybody wants it and knowing what they've done to be there and what they're missing at home and how difficult the competition is, you root for every one of them. And
Yeah.
that's what we find our jobs as producers. If the viewers at home aren't rooting for that artist every week, then we've failed.
Yeah.
So we really want to be able to tell their stories and show them for the artists that they are.
Well, before we go, I would love to have you weigh in on an important topic in our world and give your State of the Tattoo Union address, being basically the head honcho of the world's biggest tattoo television show, this competition. How do you think tattoo television and social media and everything has changed the trajectory of the medium and the industry.
When we started Ink Master, tattoos were not as common. You saw certain people have tattoos, you didn't see everybody. And I think that was the fascination, right? It was 14 years ago, soccer moms didn't have tattoos, right?
Yes.
It's a bad cliche to give, right? So I think that what, hopefully, what Ink Master has done, and social media along with it, right? Each are both separate, but hopefully what Ink Master has done is made it more accessible and made it more the art that it is. That it's not something that is easy, it's difficult. There are amazing artists out there every day doing it, and we as tattoo collectors and viewers love the artists and love the art that they're able to give us, and what that does to people's confidence and what that does to their self-image, and just to really be able to show it as an art form. Just because we're not putting art on physical canvases, right? Like, we're putting them on humans. And that's one of the reasons why we called it a human canvas, right? Was so that you would have that, that interesting connection to what it is. And I think that's what our goal was, really. And our goal continues to be on Ink Master, is just to really showcase the amazing artists that are out there and the amazing tattoos that are happening and how that's progressed just in the short time that I've been involved in the tattoo world. I think you're really starting to see across the world how many amazing, truly amazing artists there are that are doing amazing work.
I think for viewers as well, it's Ink Master, I believe, has opened the door for people to connect with each other in ways they didn't realize, right? How parents watch Ink Master with their kids. 3 generations in my family watch it together, and it's something that can connect people through art and creativity and beauty and perseverance and all of those things.
Even if you don't have tattoos.
Absolutely.
Then you're fascinated. My husband has no tattoos and he's fascinated just by watching it and watching how it develops and watching what it is. And I think all of us can have beautiful artwork, and it's just another way to, just like jewelry or, you know, how you do your hair, it's another way to accentuate.
It's self-expression.
Yes.
And it's making yourself truly unique and individual. And it's a beautiful thing.
Well said.
Yeah, absolutely. Something I really would like to express before you leave is that my life has forever changed because of Ink Master. I don't think I would be the artist I am or the person I am without the opportunity and without everyone really believing in me. And I'm not the only one. There's a lot of tattooers whose lives have been changed for the better because of you guys and what you've done. So thank you.
We're happy to be a part of it.
Yeah.
It's a team. There's a huge team behind Ink Master that is very loyal crew, very hardworking team that works to make Ink Master happen every season, and it couldn't be done without them.
Yeah.
And we strive to make it better every time, and we just appreciate all of you.
Yeah.
For coming and sharing your artwork with us.
Well, that's it for No More Ink. Don't forget to watch this season on Paramount Plus and subscribe to the Ink Master YouTube channel for everything Ink Master.